Oh, is it time? I believe it's time. We are back with another HouJack DMS Live Learning, a quick little nugget of information. And we are continuing with, I would like to say, some general life information, because this one really does impact all aspects of our life, be it career, family, relationships, all the spaces. This one does that. So with that said, let us play some music and then we'll get started. Good afternoon. I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. You are tuning into HouJack DMS Live Learning, and this is streaming to LinkedIn and Facebook. And as we always say, if you're on YouTube, we would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe. I would always like to know where you're tuning in from and what you actually do. I'm actually interested in that. So today's quick little conversation. I love my title because it speaks to my heart. Don't apologize for and of course it has not one but two asterisks, because there is a place to do it, and then there are many places not to do it. Many places not to apologize. Now, I know what you're thinking. In all of the goodness that we have in this world, where is this one coming from? There's been a couple of situations lately. And when you're really listening to people, word choice matters. And for me, when people say, "Oh, I apologize, but," I immediately go to, why are we apologizing? Right? I don't understand. And of course, my mind, I went down this rabbit hole of how did we get here? How did we get to a place of apologizing for damn near everything that happens on a daily basis? There's no reason for it. And if you are a person who is a chronic person who apologizes, is it apologizer? Is that a word? We're gonna make it a word today. If you're a person who is always apologizing for something, yeah, this one may touch you. But if anything, you will probably leave here saying to yourself, okay, these are some valid points. They're very valid points, extremely valid points. And I picked out 3 particular ones that hit me. Okay? 3 particular ones that hit me. So let me get to this. Here are my thoughts to you. Before you apologize for anything, ask yourself why you're doing it. Like, why? Now, I know as a child, our parents, other adults had us apologizing for stuff. But at that point, we had probably hit somebody. We had probably took something that wasn't ours. We actually did something that warranted an apology. And every now and then there was somebody who was like faking the tears. And they're like, "What did you do? Apologize." Like, "But I didn't do anything. Apologize anyways." Like, really? So, there's no childhood trauma here, but I can't help but, but again, were we scrappers? In my neighborhood, yeah, like we would get into a couple of scraps. I mean, I got into a couple of scraps. I got the scars to still show them. But by the next day, we were friends again. Different times, people, different times. But ask yourself why you're apologizing, and then determine for what. Like, what exactly am I apologizing for when I use those words? But number 3, that's the big one. Pick the best words for what you're about to apologize for. Pick the best words. Now, let's just go into something about apologies, shall we? Let's go into something about apologies. Ideally, in my head, an apology is to truly show remorse for an action that you created, right? I apologize for knocking you down. I apologize for eating the last of the cheesecake, even though your name was on it and I told you I was going to save it for you. Oops. So sorry. Things like that. When you accidentally bump into someone, you apologize. Now, I remember as a kid, oh my God, I think about like my dad, he used to get upset when we would do it. He would force us to go to the grocery store and like we're pushing the shopping cart and then he would just stop. And because he stopped abruptly, we would run into his like, his shin, back of his heel. Woo. Now that's an apology, right? First of all, at this point in our life, if you're still doing that to people, I don't know if that's an accident, because if you've ever been nicked in the heel by a shopping cart, you're not doing it. So I like to keep fair space when I'm in line. But when people are too close to me, I kid you not, I give a stare and I'm not apologizing for that. It's like, you too close. I need you to back it up at least a good 1,000 feet. Just saying. Right? So depending on what you're doing, the apology is to truly show remorse for what just happened. If you're not paying attention, which again, different mindset, but if you don't pay attention and you accidentally hit somebody's car, yes, I apologize for that. And here's my insurance, yada, 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 right? If you're walking in a mall or a store and bump into someone, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, right? Like those are the things. These are basic accidental actions. Didn't mean to do it, right? When it comes to food, and I'm just going to put it out there, I know in my household, it's like, hey, there's some nibbles in the fridge. I'm going to eat those nibbles. It's like, oh, that was yours? My bad, right? Like those are simple things. Those things I understand. Here are the things I don't understand. Family events. Somewhere along the lines, we have been trained in our society that we should apologize for family events that come up. And these are events such as my child is sick, my father just had a heart attack, so-and-so needs to go to the hospital. Like we are apologizing for family events, be them emergencies or be them, hey, this is great. We apologize for that. I don't understand why. So again, we ask why. Why am I apologizing for my loved one being someplace and having a seizure and having to go to the ER? Why would I apologize for that? Right? Like really think about it. What are you saying? Now, I have seen people, and this is coming from some previous work experiences, where there are people, even ourselves, we have to go to the doctor, or we have like high blood pressure or a heat stroke, or like whatever the things are. We're at the office, all of a sudden you're feeling kind of unsteady and you pass out. And when you come through, yes, we have the ambulance on their way and EMS is going to take care of some things. You're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? I'm not understanding. Whenever I've had a family event, positive or otherwise, I never apologize for that. When I got a phone call at work that my grandmother had passed away, it wasn't, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I have to go home, because it's like, no, I'm going home. I'm not apologizing for that. Why would we apologize for that? Like, really ask yourself, for all the talk that some of these companies have about being community-oriented, family-oriented, employee-oriented, why would anyone make you apologize for a loved one passing away? Why would you even feel the need to apologize for a loved one passing away. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get the heads up. It's like, no, like these are regular everyday events that happen that you have no control over. It's not an accident. It's supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen. Why would I apologize for that? I was watching a quick clip of Robert Griffith III. Yeah. And his wife goes into labor, right? And he's on air. And he says, oh my God, I'm sorry, I gotta go. My wife's in labor. Now, he didn't ask for permission. And I want to make sure. He's like, I gotta go. Now, there is only one other host is like, what are you doing? And we're on. Now, I don't know if it was just by nature, say, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Right? But he was clear, like, my wife is in labor, deuces. We got to get our priorities together and just really think about when we're apologizing for things, why are we doing them? One, and like what exactly am I apologizing? Like for what? But family events is definitely on my list. But here's another one. Being stressed out, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted, just hitting the wall. Why are we apologizing for that? Because life be lifing at times. It be doing the most. But somewhere out here, we have picked up this idea that we're supposed to be at 100 and then some at all times. In what world? We are humans. We are not robots. We are not beings that never feel anything and can just go. That is not how we're built. If you are hitting the damn wall, then you hit that wall, you sit down and you give yourself the time. I was telling a dear friend just the other day, rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. You have to rest your brain. If it's not working, it's because your brain, your body needs to reset. It needs time to heal. We got a lot going on out of here. A lot. And you got to stop at some point. So again, I ask you, why would I apologize for being stressed, for being tired, for hitting the wall, for needing some rest, for not being emotional available for your BS? Why would I apologize for that? Right? So I'm asking myself why. And then what am I apologizing for? Because you need me to pick up your emotional baggage and I can't do it? Does that make sense to you? Or you want me to be a superhero and I don't want to do that anymore? Really? Should we apologize for that? I can just ask it. These are the questions in my head. These are those questions. I'm like, I don't. No. If you're not feeling it, if it's not working for you, take a seat. Take a whole stadium of seats. Take all the seats. We have to sit down, people. And we should not apologize for taking time to take care of ourselves and recognize when we have hit the wall. Now, my cup is almost empty. Almost. It's not, but it's almost empty. When it's empty, there's nothing in there. There's nothing left. I have to get up and make a new cup of liquid or put something else in there. I got to refill it. Our body is the same. Our minds are the same. Our emotional, it's all the same. You need some time. Give yourself that time. Don't apologize for that. Don't apologize. This is the big one, though. This one. Oy vey. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I apologize. I'm sick. I can't make it today. I apologize. Whew. Okay. I've had some people in my time of managing that had to do the doctor visit for a variety of reasons. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have to go to a doctor for XYZ. Again, I don't know where we got this message. I kind of like, if I could go back and trace it, I would love to do it. My brain is like, Gwendolyn, you have enough on your plate, you cut it out. But I can't help but try to figure out where these subliminal messages of us apologizing for the very basic activities in our life, where did it stem from? I get that in elementary school, junior high, high school, we celebrate perfect attendance. That may be the groundwork. Perfect attendance has never missed a day, because not missing a day is to be celebrated. And I remember the few times we didn't miss like a day in the school year. In Houston, we would get tickets to Six Flags Astro World. So of course, kids want to go to school to get the free ticket to spend the day at Astro World. And oh man, okay, quick little side note. Amazing. There's you're a little one, you're a kid, and the theme park is shut down just for you and a whole bunch of other kids in the district who got perfect attendance, and you have free reign on the amusement park. You can ride the rides 1,000 times because there's no one else there. It's just you and the other kids. You know how awesome that is? But then they stopped it. I know at a certain point they stopped it, and now Astroworld is gone, and that's a whole other story. But that could be how we got the idea of you should never miss a day of school, and you should never miss a day of work. Keep in mind, that could also explain why. Well, partially explain why. Because some of us go to work when we're sick because we can't afford to be sick. That's a different topic for a different day and perhaps a different show. But we can't afford to be sick. So we tell our employer, so sorry, I'm sick, can't come in today. Or we do something that I don't recommend, which is, oh my goodness, I'm sick, but I can work from home. Okay, if you're sick, you're sick. You're not going to work from home and be sick. In fact, you're not going to work, period. The idea is you're sick. And even if you were able to do whatever the job it is remotely, you're sick. Give yourself that time to get better. But we have created this idea that we can just work through it. I can power through. I know I'm coughing and sneezing and everything, but if I'm just here by myself, I can still answer emails and get this done, and I can still. It's ridiculous. Now, again, the whole idea of not being able, afford to be sick, I'm not going to touch on that today. But if you're ill, don't apologize for that. If you have little ones, it's a very good chance you got a lot of germs. If you have a weakened immune system, then you are going to become ill probably quite often. But don't apologize for being sick. You're sick. Okay. Do what you got to do. Get better. You have to go to the doctor. Okay. Go to the doctor. Get your diagnosis. Now, I have had my fair share of some wonky stuff. None of it I've ever felt like I shouldn't go back to work, whatever for, because, everybody handles things differently. But I never apologized for making my doctor appointment. It was like, I got to go to the doctor. This is my health. But does it have to be this day? It's like, let me tell you something real quick. Doctors have a schedule, and they get you in where they can fit you in. So what we're not going to do is make it seem as if I got to push back my doctor's appointment so I can do. No, we're not doing that. This is your health. Right? Now, as freelancers, if you're a freelancer, you work for yourself, I get it. You can feel like, oh, I need to be here for this person. Things happen. But that's why for a lot of people who are small business owners, and I'll say in this particular case, service providers, we have in our contract that if I can't make it, I'm going to find someone else who can pick up that job and do it for me. That's in the contract. I'm going to have somebody. So if I know something may be coming up, there's a 50-50 chance I'm going to have Sally Sue on standby. Just so you know. And as it's happening, I am telling you, hey, Sally Sue is coming, blah, 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 blah. you signed off on allowing me to have someone else come in and finish it because of XYZ. When my father was ill, I let my clients know that, hey, my dad he's got stage 4 lung cancer. Things are a little different right now. So I'm not in town. I spent a good chunk of my time in Houston. They were okay with waiting. They're like, you know what, Gwendolyn, take your time. We're good. When you're ready, we'll be here for you. And sent words of encouragement and everything, right? But I didn't apologize for my dad being sick. I just said, look, here's what's going on right now. Not taking new clients. I'm not taking any jobs. We don't apologize for what's happening in our lives. I don't apologize. I don't apologize. I only ask for permission. When I was working with this other company, I never said, oh, can I go home? It's like, I'm going home to go check on my parents. That was it. I'm not asking for permission, because that time that I have with my parents, it is here and then it's gone. I'm not asking for permission. Shit, I'm grown. Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot where I was. All right, let me get into one more thing before we wrap this up. When it comes time to apologize, we got to find the best words for it. We have to have a conversation and have the best words. And it's not an apology, right? If you're doing something, let's say at the office, and you didn't fully understand, it's like, you know what? I missed the message on that task. Let me fix it. Or I clearly did not understand what the requirements were. Or I believe I may have missed it based on your feedback. But we're not apologizing for a learning opportunity. I do recall at my old job, there was a lot of, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened. It's like, we don't need the sorries. We don't need the sorries, because it's not for me. Like, I don't, whatever happened has happened. These are learning opportunities. Don't apologize for that. Now, if you go jacking up some stuff because you half-assed it, you might want to apologize for that because your job may be on the line. I don't know. But we have learning opportunities. You know how people say, like, they're speaking, but they're a little mousy in their delivery, or I should say presentation? Yeah, in delivery. They're like, hey, I was just wondering if I could you're like, Billy Bob, you need to speak up. I'm sorry. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just speak up. If you're going to come to somebody's office, just say, ooh, I hate to bother you, but yet you're here, right? Apologize for it. Like, no, just, do you have a moment? If they say yes, get it out. If they say no, great. When will you be free? Right? Like, find the best words, but stop apologizing for very basic everyday things. Have a conversation. But if you have to apologize for something, because there is, again, 2 asterisks behind that, find the best words. Be aware as to why you're apologizing, what you're apologizing for, and then find the best words. Mark, I need to apologize to you. The other day, I recognized my tone was way out of line, and that's not acceptable. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, get the words together. Think about it. You may need to marinate on it. If you're the person who did it, you may need to marinate on it. Don't do the, I apologize, but, because then that means you're not apologizing. Apologize. Be sincere about it. Get it out. Think it through. But the constant, oh my God, I'm so sorry for this. And, oh God, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, stop. If you're running late, you're running late. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm running late. There was a car accident. Well, you didn't cause that accident. Stuff happens. I mean, there was some weird stuff here the other day that people could not have planned for. It's a simple, hey, this is Gwendolyn. There is a major event happening right now on the highway. I'm going to be here a little bit because I can't get out. So what you know, I'm running late. Done. Because once you're late, you're late. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, you don't get that time back. And again, you didn't cause that car accident. That had nothing to do with you. You just happen to be in that space. Like, that's how that works. So we're not apologizing for that. We are going to stop apologizing for stuff. And if life is lifing, don't apologize for that either. Like I said before, some time ago, when people send you a message and it's through text, that is not an emergency. It's not. That's not urgent. It's a text. If it's email, that's not urgent. It's an email. If you want to get to somebody, you pick up the phone and you make that phone call because that's saying urgent. Like I'm calling you right now. And even then, hopefully, it's a real emergency. But your emergency is not my emergency. So recognize that. Let us end this, shall we? Let's get to it, kids. All right, we got it. Hey, our newsletter. Monthly, we, share a little stuff on selling and getting your career together. If you got obstacles, words to choose, things like this. We do it monthly. So get on that newsletter, HouJackDMS.com is where you can sign up for that. And as always, we do thank you for giving us your time. Not too bad today. It wasn't a full 30 minutes. We like to get it in. These little tidbits of information, general information that will change how you operate in not only your business or career, but also your life. Really stop and think about it. It happened to me. I was like, why are we apologizing for it? Because things happen that you have no control over. Being sick is not your fault. Being stressed out, no. Having a beautiful family event, yes. No, don't apologize. I'm not apologizing for that. No, stop it. Stop all of it. And as we talk about stopping it, I'm going to wish you guys a really good rest of the week. We'll be back another 2 weeks with another general information, I'm going to say. Yeah. Because we want to get everybody to a place where they can just do better overall, right? Each one teaches one to reach many. Enjoy your afternoon. The other afternoon.